Well, hey there. Welcome to another of my special episodes on seven-figure product launches. And in today's episode, right, I want to address the topic, and this is another principle, and this is who can have a seven-figure product launch, right? Because, like, I know that I can inspire people and tell people they're gonna do great in product launches, but obviously at the end of the day, it's not gonna be everybody that's gonna be able to really take the ball and run with it and make a big go at it. So there's some people that can have a seven-figure product launches, but today we want to talk about who can have a seven-figure product launch, and that might be just happen to be you. Like take this as a possibility. Open up your possibilities, keep an open mind, and understand that you can have a really big product launch. Um, so there are some common characteristics, okay, of people that are really gonna be able to take this and run with it and really go far and have a seven-figure product launch, a seven-figure product launch. And the first principle of who can have a seven-figure product launch is die-hard committed people. So that's the first characteristic, guys. Like you really need to think about yourself, think about where are you in your thinking about seven-figure product launches. Are you die-hard committed? Seven-figure product launch, this is not junk, right? This is not a small um, milestone. This is a big thing, something that could take you a year, could take you, in my seven-figure product launches consulting process, I specify that it might take you between 7 months to 15 months to get to a seven-figure product launch if you're doing everything right. But on the low end, 7 months, that's still not a time that can be joked around with. That's a long time. Sticking with anything for 7 months straight, that's a big chunk of your life, a big chunk of your year. That's more than half of your year, just to try and have a seven-figure product launch. So not everybody can stick with that. And so the first element, guys, is you gotta be die-hard committed. Like if I look at somebody that's trying to launch a product and I'm asking myself, is that gonna be able to get to a seven-figure product launch? That's the first thing to look at. Are they die-hard committed? If they're not, and if they are, the possibilities are there, right? That's where you work from. Die hard committed. Are they die hard committed? Die hard committed to the product. Die hard committed to the product launch. Die hard committed to the whole process. Okay, now let's move on to the second characteristic of people that can have seven-figure product launches. And there's one word. It's tenacious. Tenacious. And something that's tenacious, if it's a dog, like if it bites into something, like it's like those bulldogs that bite into something and then you can't get them off. It's like, once they bite into something, they take a bite or something, it's like they own it. Now they're never gonna let go. And there's some small little dogs, by the way, that do that as well. It's not just bulldogs. There's some small breeds of dogs, small dogs that are just as tenacious. They take a bite into something and there's no getting them off, right? And but that's kind of like the mindset of somebody that's really gonna be able to get a seven-figure product launch. But what they are tenacious about is, in this case, they gotta be tenacious about the dollar ROI, dollar return on investment on their product launch and their investment into it. Like, you can be tenacious about certain things like product quality, customer support. These are good things. Team, all this kind of thing. It's good to be tenacious about that as well. But for just the financial milestone of having a seven-figure product launch, they gotta be tenacious about dollar ROI. That means they're gonna optimize their ad campaigns. They're gonna optimize, like, what is the return on investment we're getting. They're gonna optimize the product offer in order to get maximum dollar ROI on investment. They're gonna optimize conversion rates in order to maximize. Like they're thinking in their minds like, what's the dollar ROI? So you gotta be tenacious about dollar ROI um, on your product launch. Like that's, they gotta be tenacious about that. Now let's move on to requirement number 3 of people that can have a 7-figure product launch. And this is they need to be all in on investing money into their product launch and not afraid to invest money into their product launch. Like it takes a lot of money to make a 7-figure product launch work, guys. Like you're gonna be required to spend money on your advertising. You're gonna be required to spend money on your funnel software, on your e-commerce store if you're doing Shopify, on your paid advertising, on getting traffic in if you're doing SaaS, potentially on buying shout outs from influencers. Whatever your strategy is gonna be to bring traffic into your funnel, into your launch, into your product launch, it's gonna ask you to make dollar investments. And so you gotta be not afraid to invest money into your product launch. Otherwise, you're never gonna get to a 7-figure product launch. You can have maybe a 30K product launch, still good, but that's not a 7-figure product launch. So the people that can get to a 7-figure product launch, characteristic requirement number 3 is they are not afraid to invest money into their product launch. Now let's move on to characteristic number 4, and this is the 4th requirement of people that can have a 7-figure product launch, and this is they are not afraid to invest time into their product launch. Because I'm telling you guys, even if you got money, you can throw money all around your product launch. But if you're unable to invest time into the product launch, it likely won't happen. You might even have some team members, or you might even hire some consultants to come in and do it all for you. But if you're not able to actually invest the personal time yourself as the entrepreneur to go in, look at your analytics. You gotta study your analytics like they were like your 10th grade exams back in school, where you gotta really sit down. You can't just wing this. You really gotta go in, look at these things, and really get to know them. Develop a personal relationship with your analytics, like really get to know, like, so you understand at a granular level what's really happening in your product launch and what's really happening in your business. Because if you don't have this, forget it. Forget a 7-figure product launch. You can have a 30K, a 50K product launch, but you're gonna lose money somewhere in your process. And so you're never gonna be optimized enough to climb up to a 7-figure product launch. If you don't have the time to invest into your product launch, you're most likely never gonna get to a 7-figure product launch. It takes a lot of time. You might have money to invest, you might have people helping you, you might have consultants, you might have coaching, you might have all that, but you actually gotta sit down in front of the computer and go into your analytics. You gotta go in, look at your product. You gotta be able to go in and look at what is selling out there in the market. You gotta look at what kind of ad creatives are our competitors running for their SaaS, so they're getting customers through that, or what are our competitors running to advertise their apps and get user signups. And you gotta be in there and ready to compete. It's almost like you're going into a sports league, and everybody knows you don't win an NBA championship by just sitting at home, being comfortable in the chair, whilst everybody is out busting themselves out on the sports field. It's gonna take a lot of your personal time. You gotta pour a lot of your time. You might have to miss some things. You're gonna miss some social events. You're gonna miss some dinners. You're gonna miss some special functions. You should parties and things like that that you should be able to enjoy. But you might not be able to do all that, because you gotta be sitting and looking at your product and how it's performing, and trying to push it and trying to optimize. You're gonna be meeting with the people that are working with you on your product launch. and you're gonna be coming up with ad creatives, you're gonna be coming up with email angles, social media campaigns, all the work that goes into making a 7-figure product launch happen. So those are the 4 requirements of the people that can have a 7-figure product launch. Now you can also pick up the Solopreneur Profits Bootcamp for free and learn how to attract more buyers of your products. The link will be in the description.